He's violated the rules of ethics that we have as attorneys. You know, the district is looking at all of its options here. It's not backing down.
A viral after-school fight between students sparks a legal battle. The Hazelwood School District's response to the demands from the Missouri Attorney General.
Right now, it costs a little extra to work in St. Louis City. Who would be exempt from the city earnings tax if a new bill makes it through the Missouri Senate?
While it's cold this morning, temperatures warm up nicely this weekend, back into the 70s, and also a chance of thunderstorms. We'll show you when we could see our next round of rain.
Feeling nickel and dimed? How you can break the cycle and stop living paycheck to paycheck as we help you make ends meet.
9 hours from now, the sounds of cheering Cardinals fans will return. What you need to know heading into today's season opener against the Dodgers, and the new things you'll find at Busch Stadium this season.
This is Today in St. Louis, focused on you.
We began this morning with live looks at the Arch and LAX. That's LA International Airport, because the Cardinals have the first pitch today at 3:10 this afternoon at Dodger Stadium. Dodger Stadium, by the way, is sold out, so if you had tickets, there you go. If you didn't, stay home and watch the game on television. Good morning, everybody. It is Thursday, March the 28th. I'm Renee Knott.
And I'm Michelle Lee. Thanks so much for joining us. Of course, Paul Cook. Yeah.
Oh,
Sorry.
man.
Okay.
So much excitement.
Go Cards!
It's
It is exciting.
We're talking sports now.
It is exciting. It is exciting. Almost as exciting as traffic.
Yeah, almost. Yeah.
Traffic is
That's
always
the best.
entertaining
Yeah,
and exciting.
And the weather.
Oh,
yeah,
I tell you, it's hard to keep up some days, but today's colder start, a warmer finish, the day of transition, if you will, because we go from the cold, and then after this, it's all about that spring warmth as we go into the weekend, and hopefully it'll stick around for next week when we have the Cardinals here at home next Thursday, and we're getting excited about that. Even here on Tissel, we've got some surprises for you. 37 out the door this morning. We do have some 20s on the map this morning, so a colder start in a lot of spots like Warrenton, Chesterfield, Farmington, 28 even over in Mount Vernon and Flora. And then there are some visibility issues like in St. Charles, really up near 370. But aside from that, everywhere else we are looking fog free this morning. Temperatures today will top out in the 60s, a warmer finish to the day, so do enjoy. We'll talk about the weekend coming up, but let's get an update to the roadways and go over to Paul Cook. Good morning, Paul. What's happening?
Well, Anthony, yes, we have an accident in North County that is bogging folks down, and they are taking the alternate route. You can somewhat see it here, 367 at Dunn. The accident, 270 westbound at Bell Fountain. So what you're seeing here with the lights, folks exiting off, going north for a little bit on 367 and then coming back to 270 because of the delay. The camera's pretty far back, but in the distance you can see the delay I'm talking about, and then the map shows it very, very well here. You can see using 367 might help you, but 270 westbound is where that delay is in North County, right below where you see it says Larimore. Okay, so we look here at our big map, and that's it. That's all we're dealing with. Usually it's one, maybe two problems a morning, but they can really get us. New this morning, all lanes of I-44 are back open near Sullivan after yesterday morning's deadly crash. A semi-truck crossed into oncoming traffic, hit a car head-on around 6:30 a.m. yesterday. The car's driver, 59-year-old Edith McKee of Sullivan, died. The truck driver was also hurt but is expected to survive. Some lanes were closed for more than 16 hours as crews cleaned up the wreck.
We're looking into whether or not there's any sort of legal action we can take to stop him from being such a bully.
This morning, the battle continues between the Hazelwood School District and the Missouri Attorney General. We have some new information from the school district on handing over documents surrounding a shocking fight that put a 16-year-old student in the hospital.
Megan Kernan is joining us live outside the district offices with more. Good morning, Megan.
Good morning, Michelle and Rennie. This morning, Hazelwood teachers and school leaders are feeling the wrath of the ongoing battle between the district and Attorney General Andrew Bailey. Right now, teachers are facing a flood of threats to them after this situation. Now, The district says those threats started pouring in immediately after Bailey suggested the district's diversity, equity, and inclusion policies had something to do with the fight earlier this month. Bailey's initial investigation letter assumed school resource officers were no longer patrolling the hallway. He attempted to pin the absence of SROs on the district's DEI programs. The school district said they have 60 security guards and monitors on the payroll. In a return letter yesterday from Hazelwood, it signaled it will hand over documents Bailey is requesting. The district's attorney says as more information comes to light, it will likely be an embarrassment to Bailey and his office.
He's violated the rules of ethics that we have as attorneys. You can't just make random allegations because you have some other motive to do so and not have done a cursory investigation to make sure that those facts are correct. You know, the district is looking at all of its options here. It's not backing down. We're looking at whether or not we'll file an ethics complaint.
Now, a Hazelwood district spokesperson confirms at least one student was suspended for a fight at the school that happened the day before the violent attack. While the district wouldn't name the suspended student, an attorney for the suspect told 5 on Your Side it was 16-year-old Kaylee Gain. She was the student in the hospital with a severe head injury. Live in Florissant, Megan Kernan, 5 on Your Side.
Just hours ago, or just hours from now, I should say, a former Jefferson County deputy is expected to enter a plea for a crash that killed his wife. Colby McCreary is facing misdemeanor charges. He's accused of drunk driving when his car went off the road on I-55 and crashed last spring. His wife, Savannah, died. McCreary's plea hearing is set for 1 o'clock this afternoon.
This morning, a measure to keep Missourians safe from drivers fleeing from police is heading to the state Senate. Yesterday, the House passed a Valentine's Law bill named after fallen St. Louis County Police Detective Antonio Valentine. He died in a head-on crash with a suspect in a stolen car. The measure calls for stricter penalties for drivers who run from officers.
This morning, your paychecks could get a little bigger if you work for St. Louis City. Missouri lawmakers are taking on the controversial city earnings tax. Travis Cummings is joining us live downtown with a breakdown of the bill that the House just passed. Travis.
Yep, Michelle, the Missouri House sent Bill 1516 to the Senate on a vote of 100 to 47 yesterday. This would apply to workers that live outside of city limits. They would be exempt from St. Louis City earnings tax. Let's break down that bill a little bit more for you this morning here. The measure would apply to people who work remotely or by telecommuting for St. Louis City businesses and do not live in the city. According to our partners at the St. Louis Business Journal, if it's passed by the Senate and Governor Mike Parson, these workers would not have to pay the city's earnings tax when filing tax returns starting next January. Keep in mind, the St. Louis earnings tax is at the center of an ongoing lawsuit right now in which several remote workers sue the city because they were denied refunds on the earnings tax during the COVID-19 pandemic. The tax makes up about 37% of the city's general revenue fund. It helps pay for critical services like first responders. Now, voters chose to renew the tax by 79% in 2021. It will be up for another vote in 2026. Now, the city's earning tax will not be the only thing moving forward here in the legislature. Coming up in the next hour or so, we're going to tell you about some tax breaks that are going toward seniors and their properties. We're live in downtown St. Louis. Travis Cummings, 5 on Your Side.
All right, let's get to our bus stop forecast this morning. If you are getting the kids ready to head out the door, grab a coat for them. Temperatures are colder this morning, but we do have sunshine expected all day long. By lunchtime, 57, so outdoor recess is a go, and 65 is where we're headed later today in St. Louis. We have a warm front that'll be lifting on through the next couple of days. That's going to bring in 70-degree weather beginning tomorrow, and that will last through the weekend. But we have a frontal boundary here that's going to be in place on Saturday afternoon, area of low pressure scooting on by, so there could be a little spot shower that you see on the map afternoon hours on Saturday. And it's not an all-day rain, but just a spot shower. Same deal on Sunday. We start off dry, but notice this next warm front starts to lift on through, and you see the green that starts to dot the map. So afternoon, Sunday, you could have another round of spotty showers, but the best chance of rain will come on Monday, and then temperatures will start to come on down. But a really nice Easter weekend all the way. Despite the showers, temperatures will be in the 70s, so pretty warm for this time of year.
All right, Anthony. The 2024 Cardinals season starts in just about 9 hours from right now. The 3 things to know about today's game in LA and what's new at Busch Stadium this season.
A sweet deal after the Sweet 16. The multi-million-dollar decision Caitlin Clark has to make after a public offer from Ice Cube.
What's a really good sign?